Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope all of you are doing good. This is the weekly market update live stream. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe to it. And please do not forget to like the live stream. This is really important. Most of you guys watch these live streams, but you don't like it. So, the first thing that you have to do is to like the live stream. Also, if you're not following me on Twitter, 𝗨𝗏𝗃, this is my Twitter handle. Uh, you can see that we have a lifetime giveaway going on. On my Twitter account, I'll be talking about that part later on. But make sure that you are following this Twitter handle, 𝗨𝗏𝗃. I regularly post market updates and sometimes calls also on my Twitter account. You can see that the market updates they are being regularly shared on my Twitter account. And obviously, if you would like to receive more organized updates and calls, you can always join in the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. Now, we have a lifetime giveaway going on. Two things, in fact, we have going on at this moment. First of all, if you wanted to join the subscription, if you wanted to be a part of the Discord server, and for some reason you were not able to afford the subscription, then it's a very good opportunity. You can go to our website, 𝗨𝗏𝗀𝗻.org. The link you can also find in the description of this video. This is our website, and you can join the premium subscription at a 50% discount because we have a Black Friday sale going on. Because of the market conditions and all of that, we have decided to keep this subscription, keep all of the subscription at 50% less price for one complete month. You can just scroll down on the website and you can see that all of these subscription packages now they are listed at the 50% less price. The monthly subscription, it used to be $60, now it's only $32. The quarterly subscription, it was already discounted. It used to be $168 and now it's only $99. And same is the case with the yearly subscription and the lifetime subscription also. You can just read the details about the benefits and everything. So, you can read the reviews and all that. And if you would like to inquire more about this, like if you have any doubts, if you have any confusion, then simply just join the Discord server. Link you can find in the description of this video. And open a support ticket, and we will guide you through this part. The mentorship is also at a discounted price. I'm not sure about the price, but I believe that the mentorship is also listed at the 50% price. It's a very good opportunity. Almost 300 plus people are a part of this mentorship program. We have, we already have 70 plus hours of training, recorded training, and we are recording more lectures. It's going to be 300 hours plus of training that will be included in the mentorship program. Also, we have live lectures happening every Monday and then Friday also, and then we have live one-on-one classes also. You can book a live one-on-one class with me. You don't really have to pay anything extra. You have the opportunity to simply just schedule a call with me, one-on-one call, discuss everything related to your trading and stuff. All of that is included in the mentorship program. So yeah, it's a great opportunity. I usually do not promote the premium subscription that way, but I thought that because we are doing it at a 50% cheaper price, so it's better if I just talk about it in my live stream also. And if you for some reason you cannot afford any of this, then you can just take part in the giveaway. This is the most important thing. You can just be a part of this giveaway by simply just liking this tweet and retweeting, and finally just dropping a comment, dropping a reply to this tweet. You can see that this is the pinned tweet on my Twitter account. You can simply just go to my Twitter handle, 𝗨𝗏𝗃, like this tweet, retweet this tweet, and finally just drop a reply. Just drop your experience with me. Just share your experience with Foxy and share your experience reading my market updates and stuff. Just drop your honest opinion in the reply, and you can easily win the lifetime subscription also. We have the discount going on, and then we have the lifetime giveaway also going on. So yeah, this is all about the subscription part. If you guys have any questions, once again, please make sure to join the Discord server. Link you can find in the description of this video. Open the support ticket, and you can inquire about all of these things. uh Mythical is saying, do you post all updates in Foxian same as Kaizen? Yes, I post the same updates in both servers. The updates are not really different. Great deal. Always following your Twitter. Came from Kaizen and now will join Foxian. One more successful trade and then go. Okay, perfect. That sounds good. So mentorship is lifetime, one-on-one with the king. Yeah, so just a small update about the mentorship program also. Once again, the mentorship program, it's a lifetime program, okay? And we have the mentorship program also at a discounted price because of this Black Friday sale. It's a lifetime program. You have access to the live lectures, you have access to the recorded lectures. You will be provided with the login details. As soon as you would join the mentorship program, you will be provided with the login details. Then you would go to this website 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏org, you would log in, then you would go to this mentorship program, and then you can simply just access all of the lectures. Almost 70 plus hours of training has already been uploaded on the website in the student section, which you can access if you join the mentorship program. And there is also the mentorship server in which all of these students who have bought the mentorship program, they are present. And live lectures happen in that mentorship program. Live lectures happen in that mentorship server. And live lectures happen every Monday, every Friday, sometimes on Thursdays also. And you can schedule the one-on-one call also. So all of the resources, like if there is any indicator that we are releasing, if there is any audiobook, if there is any new live lecture, if literally anything that we will be releasing in the future, in relation to that mentorship program, you would be able to access all of that for lifetime without any extra cost or anything. Even you can just schedule the calls, one-on-one calls that would otherwise sometimes cost you some money. You can simply just schedule everything, schedule all of these calls for free for lifetime, which in my opinion is a really great opportunity. So make sure that, guys, for some reason, if you were not able to afford the premium subscription, if for some reason you were not able to afford the mentorship program, there is definitely value in that mentorship program. I would suggest that first you join the Discord server and then inquire about the mentorship program. You can read the reviews about the mentorship program. You can just ask any student about the mentorship program, about what kind of facilities they have, about what exactly is their experience in that mentorship program, and only then you join it, because this is going to be a lifetime investment. It's only like $500-$600 for lifetime, which in my opinion is a really great opportunity. But anyways, let's get straight to the point. What's happening with market right now. And before I get to the market update part, first of all, I have a long position open on ETH at 3027. This is my entry point on this ETH long position. Stop loss is 2864, and I'm going to move stop loss to break even after 1 hour or so. But you can just enter at the market price as well, 3000. And we have a spot buy also on Ethereum. We have already allocated almost 60% of the capital in that spot position. Let me give you an update on that part also. We have a spot position open on Ethereum, for which the average buying price is 2969. So if you wish to buy, you can do that. We the average buying price for the spot buying that we have done, we did it basically in two parts. The first buying was done at 3035. The second buying was done somewhere around, I guess, 2930 or 2935. And now the average buying price for this spot position is 2969. I'm only buying in spot here. And then we have this short position also open on ETH. If you guys remember, during the past few live streams, I discussed all of that in detail. Many people were failing to believe when I mentioned 2-3 weeks ago that Ethereum is eventually headed towards 2100, and it really is headed towards 2100. You should be, you need not to have any kind of doubts regarding this. Ethereum is definitely headed towards 2100 in a medium term, or in the next few months or so. You just have to be a little bit patient. We will keep this short position open. The entry for this short position was 3600. And for this spot position that we have opened, the average buying price for which is at 2969. We are simply just going to take profits of this spot position as soon as price makes a move towards 3400. So that's still going to be almost a 12 to 15% move, which is more than enough in my opinion. We have been successfully taking long and short positions on ETH for the past few months. And once again, I have a short position open, then I have a long position open, which is just not exactly a swing position, which is more like a intraday position. This is the it's basically both. It is basically based on the 4-hour time frame chart. So I basically now have three positions open on ETH. The first position is a short position, the entry for which is at 3600. I am simply just going to add more into this short position as soon as price makes a move towards 3400, because that is where the next resistance for Ethereum is. This resistance has not been retested. You may not be able to see this resistance, let's say, on the weekly time frame chart, but if you would go to the daily time frame chart or on the 4-hour time frame chart, you can see that there is definitely some resistance present around $3,400 level. So that is where we are going to add more into this short position, for which we have already taken two TPs. The first TP was somewhere around 3100, the second one was somewhere around 3000. We are going to add further into this short position as soon as Ethereum goes back up to $3,400 level, because 3400 is again a resistance for ETH. And I believe that it's going to make a move like this, in which it would just go up a little bit, retest $3,400 level, and then it may give a small bounce here, and finally it's going to give a break below. Something very similar to what happened in these kind of situations, something very similar to what happened, back in the month of April 2024, something very similar to what happened back in 2021, 2022 also, during the last cycle, in which we had a small bounce at $3,000 level, small bounce toward 3300, 3400, and then finally we had a break towards 2100. So this is exactly what I'm expecting in this situation also. I have mentioned quite a few times that the reason we opened this short position on ETH, it was very simple, because of the weekly candle close below this trend line. And it's the overall move, it's quite similar to 2021. I guess we did this live stream 3-4 weeks ago, in which I explained to you the similarities between this 2021 move and this 2025 move. Both of these moves, they look very similar. Even if you would compare candle to candle, you can see that the market structure shift has already happened. Even if you would look at the thumbnail of this live stream, the thumbnail says that the bull run is over. And I would explain to you why exactly the bull run is over, or why exactly I believe that the bull market is over. And now, we are about to see price on the Bitcoin chart, price on the Ethereum chart going at least down to, let's say, 2100, or maybe on the Bitcoin chart down to 60,000, 75,000. We will be talking about all of that part later on. But this is the first short position that we have open. If you would like to, open a new short position, if you would like to add more into this short position, you can do that once price makes a move towards 3400, because that is where I'm going to add more into this short position. I have taken two TPs of this short position. I'm going to add back into this short position as soon as price makes a move towards 3400. And then I have a spot position open on ETH. The average buying price for this spot position is 2969, but it's only 60% allocation. 30% allocation was made at 3035. Then we did another buying at 2930 or 2935, something like that. Last night we did another buying, and now the average buying price is at 2969. If we see price going deep into this support level, because support starts from 2939 level, and it ends at 2760. So if we see a deeper retracement into this higher time frame support, I'm going to add more into this long position, going to add more into the spot position the very same way as I did last night also. The first buying was 3035, then the other buying was at 2930, and if we see a deeper retracement, I'm going to add the rest of that 40% of intended position size into this spot position. I'm hopeful that we are going to see some form of retest, some kind of retest at this higher time frame support. I do not believe that price would simply just break through this level without giving any sort of significant reaction. At least a reaction towards 3300 to 3400 is expected, and you guys can plan your positions accordingly. So this is the spot position that we have open, but make sure that you are planning it accordingly, you are planning it very carefully. We will be adding more into the short position or opening a new short position at 3400, adding into the existing short position, and then we will be closing this spot position at 3400 or even at 𝗏𝗏𝗏50. Also, it depends on the situation. It depends on the weekly highs and lows. A lot many different factors are involved. It depends on the new low that is being created here, but that is still going to be almost a 13 to 14% move for me, which is more than enough if you have a position big enough open on ETH, or if you are looking to open a spot position on ETH, then you can do so at the current market price. And then I have a then I have a leverage long position open on Ethereum, the entry for which is at 3030. I opened this spot position, I opened this leverage position just this morning. You can see that this is the leverage position that we have open. You can enter at the market price. The entry is 3027. And I would explain to you the logic behind this whole position, but it's still a little bit of a risky position depending on the market situation and everything. But yeah, this is the only long position that I have open right now. I don't really have any other leverage positions open. So you can enter at the market price. I am expecting that price will at least make a move towards 3300, 3400. Once again, the same logic, but it's risky. I've explained in the market update part also that, taking any long position right now, it's a little bit of a risky, thing because of the way market is reacting right now, because of the situation that we have going on in terms of rate cuts and everything. So, this is just a small, brief overview of, some of the positions that we have open, or the things that we are planning to do. So first of all, what exactly is happening with market? I would like to give you an important update in terms of the next FOMC meeting. The next FOMC meeting is in 20 days. You can see that. You can go to the cmegroup.com website. The next FOMC meeting is in 20 days, 3 hours, 56 minutes. But the important part is that, and by the way, just this morning when I looked at the probability of a fresh 25 basis point rate cut was sitting at 30%. Now it's sitting at 41%. The probability has improved a little bit, but still it's not enough. You can see that almost 1 week ago it was 50%. Almost 1 month ago we had 98% probability of a 25 basis point rate cut in December's FOMC. And from 98%, the probability has gone down to almost 41.8%. That is a big drop. This is because of the statements that we are getting to see, the statements from different members of FOMC committee, from FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee members. They are giving statements, mixed statements, but still, we have statements, where these members are saying that, possibly, doing another and giving another rate cut next month. It could be premature. It may not be the right decision because of the inflation risks, because of the labor market data not being available. And for your information, the job market data was not released. I was just looking at the numbers. I was just looking at the details, and the Department of Statistics has, for the very first time in history, said that they are not going to release they're not going to release the job market data for the previous month. And that was obviously because of the government shutdown. The government shutdown has ended, but because they were not able to collect the data, I guess, for the month of October, so they are saying that they are not going to release that data. And for that reason, there is a lot of uncertainty involved. And then whenever you do not have the right picture about the economic situation, whenever you do not have the data available to make any decisions, then it's very natural that these members, they are a little bit skeptical, and they would obviously say that it's best not to cut rates, and it's best to simply just wait a little bit, wait for more data. And then this is not really a good thing. When you look at the overall situation, it's not really a good thing. We already know this thing, that if there is an expectation of a rate cut, that is fundamentally speaking a bullish thing. But if there is an expectation that no rate cuts are happening, and even when you take a look at the dot plot also, dot plot is whenever people are talking about the rate cuts, I'm always telling them that all you have to do is just go to this website and look at the updated probability. And 99.9% chances are that the actual outcome is going to be exactly what the probability is telling you. which basically means that the actual outcome about the interest rate decisions is almost always priced in. But something which is not priced in is, first of all, the press conference, the questions being asked during the press conference, the responses that are being given during the press conference. And the second most important thing is the dot plot, that what exactly the members are thinking about, what exactly the members have their predictions about the future rate cut possibilities and everything. And that is the most important part, which cannot be priced in. And by the way, just 24 hours ago, if the meeting minutes from the previous FOMC were released, and it clearly showed that most of the members, they are in complete disagreement with each other. There is a complete disagreement among the members in FOMC, and it basically, all of this is pointing out in the same direction, that most likely we are not going to have any rate cut in December's FOMC, which is not exactly a bullish thing. And this is exactly why, for the past few days, this is exactly why you have seen this big sell-off in the market. This is exactly why you have seen Bitcoin going down from 103,000 all the way down to 89,000, 88,000. Now let's take a look at, first of all, let's start with the weekly time frame chart. On the weekly time frame, Bitcoin is sitting at $89,000. There is a very important support starting from 89.5K and ending at 87,000, 86,000. This is a very important weekly time frame support, and it becomes even more important when you realize that this is for the very first time that price is giving this retest at this higher time frame support. And I need not to mention this thing. I'm sure that most of you are already aware about this fact, that the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin has already shifted. This is the most important part, and this is exactly why the title for this live stream also says that the bull market is over. Now, whenever we used to do these live streams the past few weeks, I always used to mention how things are not really changing. The bull market is not over, because the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin has not flipped. Just to give you a small overview, just to give you a small recap of this, the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin was bullish from October 2023 to November 2025. So for straight 2 years, you can see that the structure for Bitcoin was completely bullish, and there was no flip in the market structure. And this is for the very first time in the past 2 years that the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin has gone from being bullish to being bearish. And if you are assuming that the structure will be bullish back again, that's definitely not going to happen anytime soon. It may happen in the next 5 or 6 months. It may happen in the next 1 year or so. I'm not someone who would do any sort of predictions, in for the next few months or for the next few years. But one thing is for sure, that the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin is no longer bullish. It is now bearish. And just as it took almost 2 years to flip the structure from being bullish to being bearish, remember this one thing, that it is going to take almost an equal amount of effort, and to some extent equal amount of time also, to change the structure from being bullish to being bearish, which basically means that, and by the way, there is not even one break of structure that has happened on the daily time frame chart, which basically shows you that things have only just started. This bear market, whatever you would like to call it, or this sell off, this has only just started. We have only just received one change of character, or the market structure shift. Now there are going to be more break of structures in this bearish leg, and most likely price will be eventually headed towards 60,000, 50,000 in the next few months. I don't know exactly how much time it is going to take, but price in the long run is definitely headed towards these levels. The reason why I'm explaining all of that is because whenever I post a tweet, one or two replies are always from people asking the very same question, that what are your expectations about Bitcoin in the long term. So in the long term, I'm telling you that do not expect the price. Let me be very clear on this. When I was talking about Ethereum also, I was very clear on this one part, that once you have a trendline breakout on the chart of ETH, one weekly candle close below 3939, and Ethereum will be eventually headed towards 2100. When I posted about this on my Twitter also, people were making fun of this thing. We have already seen 3000, and now it's only a matter of time that Ethereum will be trading at 2100. You just have to be a little bit patient. So same is the case with Bitcoin also. Please do not expect Bitcoin to create a new all-time high anytime soon. Once again, I'm not sure about for the next 1 or 2 years, but at least for the next few months, do not expect Bitcoin to do anything. Expect this bearish structure to continue in the very same manner, just as the bullish structure continued for the past 2 years. So, you will be seeing a series of new lower lows and lower highs. And the interesting part is that not even on the 4 hour time frame not even on the 4 hour time frame chart, there has been any change in the structure. Forget about the weekly time frame, forget about the daily time frame. There has not even been a single change of character or structure shift on the 4 hour time frame chart. There have been, we have been seeing a series of lower lows and lower highs. I can show you the 4 hour time frame chart and you will be surprised to see that there has been a series of lower lows and lower highs. But anyways, first of all, let's start the discussion from the weekly time frame chart of Bitcoin. So the price, although is sitting at a higher time frame support, if you are someone who's just looking at the higher time frame chart, if you are someone who would just like to trade the higher time frame chart, I did mention this when I was talking about 89.5k. Also, I did mention this when the structure shift happened, when price gave a daily close below 98.2k. Also, I did mention this thing that there is actually on the weekly time frame chart, if you would go and read the update which was shared on Sunday, I mentioned that in between 98,000 and 89.5k, there is actually no real support and prices eventually headed towards 89.5k. But the interesting part is that 89.5k, is a very techno space is asking the question that why not build a short position on Bitcoin? Yes, we are going to build a short position on Bitcoin. I will be giving you all the possible scenarios. This is exactly what we are going to do. In fact, in the update that I shared 2 hours ago, I clearly mentioned that even if the possibility of a rate cut improves a little bit, I would still like to build a short position on Bitcoin because I don't really see the rate cuts happening anytime soon. So Bitcoin right now is sitting at 89,000 to $85,000 support. That is an important weekly time frame support. If you would like to open a small long position just to capitalize on this move, although I would not recommend doing so, but if you would like to do that, you can open a small position on Bitcoin around 89.5k, around 88,000. That could provide you a good opportunity. That could provide you a good small bounce towards 83,000, 93,000, 94,000. And once you have the most likely outcome is the one, if you are someone who would not like to open a long position, if you are someone who would only like to focus on the short positions, then there are a few different things that you can do. For long positions, you have very limited opportunities. You are already trading against the trend, meaning that you will only be trading the retracement waves, the smaller set of waves. You may not really be trading the bigger waves, which is the impulsive wave, the direction for which is going to be towards downside. So what you can do is that you can open a long position here, place a very tight stop loss right under this $86,000, $87,000 level. And as I said, you would essentially be trading against the trend, against the dominant trend, which is towards downside. So this position is going to be significantly risky. But if you would like to trade in the direction of the trend, then you have a few different possibilities. In fact, lots of possibilities that that we could use in this situation. The first one is very obvious. If we have let's say a daily close below or even a weekly close below, not talking about the 4 hour close, but at least a daily or a weekly close below this level, below this support, something very similar to what happened back in the back in the month of March this year. You can see that as soon as you have at least a daily close below or a weekly close below 87,000, 86,000, that is when you can enter a short position on Bitcoin. You can place your stop loss slightly above this level, above 89,000. You can enter a short, let's say at 87,000, 86,000. That is not really a big stop loss. And then you can ultimately target at least 74,000, 75,000, right? You can see that, price is almost always giving a reaction. And for that reason, I am also expecting a small reaction to happen somewhere around here. On the weekly time frame chart, you can see that this is the first retest at this higher time frame support. Although the direction is towards downside, so that is why you have to keep in mind the overall bias as well, the overall direction of the market also. But if you are looking to open a short position, your first opportunity is to open a short as soon as you have a daily close below or a weekly close below this higher time frame support, which is a very important support. Once we lose this support, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing which I said back back on Sunday also, that once you have a daily close below 98.2k, that is when the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin would have already flipped from being bullish to being bearish, and there is no real support till 89.5k, and you can easily open a short from 98,000 all the way down to 89,000. And same is the case here. Once you have a daily or a weekly close below this higher time frame support, you can open a short position and target this next support at 76,000, 75,000, because there is a clear gap between these two levels. You can see that in between these two levels, there is literally nothing. If you are trading on the higher time frame chart, then you can simply just ignore all of the noise. You can ignore all of these smaller time frame moves, and you can simply just focus on the higher time frame charts, which would be telling you that you can easily expect price to go all the way down to 75,000, 74,000. So this is the update from the weekly time frame chart, and this is the first scenario that you can go with if price gives you a close below, a daily or a weekly close below this level. The second scenario is going to be the one in which price gives you a move towards 98.5k, because we already know that 98.5k, that still is a resistance level, not exactly on the weekly time frame chart, but at least on the daily time frame chart, at least on the 4-hour time frame chart, 98.5k to 99.5k, that is a very important, very strong resistance level, and the first retest of this level has not happened so far. So whenever price goes back up and gives you the first retest at this higher time frame resistance level on the daily time frame chart or on the 4-hour time frame chart, you can simply just open a short position on Bitcoin at 98.5k. And to respond to the question asking that why are we not opening a short position on Bitcoin right now, the response is very simple, because price right now is sitting at a major higher time frame weekly support level. So that is why it may not really make any sense to open a short position here. One thing I would like to mention here, something that I tweeted about just last night also, that once you have a big liquidation event, once you have a big liquidation wick towards downside or towards upside, there is always a quick recovery phase. For example, you can see that, this liquidation event which happened back on 10th of October, there was a huge wick all the way down to 102,000, and then there was an immediate recovery with price going all the way up to 114,000, 115,000 just in a matter of an hour or two. So, the liquidation events, they are not exactly sustainable moves. I mean, price could go lower after these massive liquidation events, but they're not exactly, in a short term at least, they're not exactly sustainable moves. But the problem with something that has been happening for the past few days, something that has happened, let's say after 10th of October, or especially ever since this month started, November, you can see that there has been a sustainable selling going on. There has been no liquidation event. Usually whenever there is a liquidation event, then one party is simply just trying to, for example, if there is a massive liquidation wick towards downside, it basically indicates that market makers, they are trying to fill their long positions, and they have triggered this a massive liquidation events to take people out of their long positions, as a result of which there is going to be a massive selling event taking place, and they can easily have their buy positions being triggered. So this is why exactly these liquidation events happen towards downside. But when you have this sustainable selling thing going on, a slow bleed towards downside or a slow move towards upside, you clearly get the idea that this is a sustainable move. No one really is looking to no one really is looking to open their positions. No one really is looking to hide their volume. No one really is looking to hide their orders. It's simply just sustainable selling. It's simply just a more sustained move towards downside or towards upside. So something very similar is happening in this situation also. You can see that for the past few days, ever since this month started, there has been this sustainable selling happening, with price slowly bleeding towards breaking below one support after the other. And the most dangerous part, one thing that I would show you later on, is that on the 4-hour time frame chart, there have been a series of lower lows and lower highs, very, very organized series of lower lows and lower highs, something that you usually do not get to see on the smaller time frame chart, but something that we have been seeing for the past few days, that even on the smaller time frame chart, there have been a series of lower lows and lower highs. And even if you take a look at the daily time frame chart, you can see that there has not been a single candle, single up close candle since 10th of November. So it's been almost 10 days that price is giving you a series of down close candles. So there has not been a single daily up close candle for the past 10 days or so. And this is a very interesting phenomena. So the next short position that you can go with, and by the way, 65 plus people are watching this live stream. I would really appreciate if all of you are able to just subscribe to the YouTube channel and like this live stream. This is really important, and this really helps us create more educational content. This really helps us do more live streams. Please make sure to like the live stream. It's not really going to cost you anything. All you have to do is just press the like button. So the next short position that you can go with, once again, very simple, 98.5k, and that is a very, very interesting short position. I would say that this is the most likely outcome. I mean, considering the fact that 89.5k is a good support, I mean, you can definitely expect some sort of a bounce at this support. I would be a little bit surprised, not exactly surprised in a big way, but a little bit surprised if there is no big bounce, at least towards 96,000, 97,000 at this higher time frame support, because on the weekly time frame chart, this support is getting retested for the very first time. This is the important part. On the weekly time frame chart, although the direction is towards downside, although the dominant trend is towards downside, although the structure shift has just happened, although on the daily time frame chart there is a move towards downside happening, although on the 4-hour time frame chart there have been a series of lower lows and lower highs, but ignoring all of these things, the most important part is that at least on the weekly time frame chart, this is an important support level. But at the same time, this is the first retest of this higher time frame support, which adds more weight into the fact that at least we should have some sort of a bounce at this level, which is going to be just an upside move, which is just going to be a retracement wave. Remember that, I have said this multiple times during the last few days, ever since the structure shift happened, that do not get baited by any moves that happen in the near term. Even if you have a move towards 108,000, which we will be talking about just in a few minutes, but any move towards upside from this point onwards on the chart for ETH or on the chart for Bitcoin is going to be one of the best opportunities for you to build your short positions, to build your big short positions. Something very similar to what we did with ETH, but something that we missed on the chart for Bitcoin. We should have done that, but we were waiting for 108.5k, and price only wicked into 107.5k, which makes this fact very obvious that this support remains untested. But do not expect this support, do not expect price to give a retest at this resistance anytime soon. It's kind of very obvious. Just for comparison, you can see that price had a break above this higher time frame level back on 21st of April, and it's giving the retest at this level on 17th of November. So almost after 5 to 6 months. So, I'm not saying that there is going to be an immediate move towards upside to 108,000 to 112,000. All I'm trying to say is that from this point onwards, any move towards upside, it should be treated as a retracement wave. It should be treated as the formation of a base for a bigger move towards downside. Okay, because the structure has completely flipped. As soon as we had the daily candle close below 98.2k. Just to give you a theoretical schematic for this, was the structure before the structure shift happened almost a week ago. Any downside move was simply just a good opportunity for you to buy Bitcoin. Even if it was a move towards 50,000, even if it was a move towards 75,000, even if it was a move towards, if you guys remember, even when we had a just in the month of April, when those Liberation Day tariffs were announced, everything was going down. Even Bitcoin made a move towards 74,000, 75,000. Even at that time, the structure flip did not happen. I'm trying to explain to you that the structure was bullish since October 2023. So the structure remained bullish for 2 years, but with this move, with this candle close below 98.2k, the structure flip has finally happened, and you need to realize this. Open your eyes, realize this thing. Stop following those Twitter handles just giving you random exponential moving averages and then throwing random facts your way, saying that Bitcoin is about to give a huge bounce, or this is just accumulation going on, and blah blah, all of that shit. Do not believe any of that. Just focus on the facts that I'm telling you here. that the structure flip has finally happened, and this is the structure which is now in place. You have a series of you are now going to have a series of lower lows and lower highs. I can show you this on the 4-hour time frame chart also, but you can see that any upside move from this point onwards, it's simply just going to be an opportunity for you to sell. This is going to be a selling opportunity. This is going to be a selling opportunity. This is going to be a selling opportunity for you. Right now, it's going to be completely on you how exactly you capitalize on these moves. But the first one is going to be towards 98.5K. If we get a move towards 98.5K, then we are going to place a short position. But for, somehow, although I'm not exactly hoping that it's going to happen anytime soon, but if we are lucky enough, then we will get a massive move towards due to any of these reasons. Because when the bull market started back in October 2023, at that time, the biggest catalyst was the ETF approval, which happened back on 10th of January 2024. And soon after that, we had another big catalyst, which was halving, because everybody knew that soon after the halving, Bitcoin always creates a new all-time high, or Bitcoin always gives a new move. And soon after that, we had another big event, which was in the form of Trump winning elections, a crypto-friendly president. Soon after that, we had another big event, which was in the form of rate cuts happening. Soon after that, we had another big event, which was in the form of, or another big catalyst, which was in the form of the formation of Bitcoin strategic reserve. And then we had a smaller catalyst, which was in the form of more rate cuts happening. Now you tell me exactly if you have any catalyst in your mind. Rate cuts are not happening anymore. It is just the end of quantitative easing and easing cycle. And then Trump is already the president. There is no Bitcoin strategic reserve is in place. Bitcoin ETF already got approved. Halving event is already past us. Almost, all the catalysts are over. At least in the near future, I don't see any catalyst big enough which may contribute in giving the price a massive move towards upside. If you have any such catalyst in your mind, please make sure to let me know. But if you look at the overall timeline, there were a series of catalysts, right? The timeline was really, really accurate. The timeline was really, really simple. From ETF approval, from the expectation of ETF approval to ETF approval to halving to first rate cuts in 4 years in September 2024, then to Trump becoming the president, then the Bitcoin strategic reserve, then more rate cuts happening. And now we are finally sitting at this point where there are no more catalysts left. And for that reason, I believe that we are not really going to see any new all-time highs anytime soon. If you had asked me this question almost 2 weeks ago, I was constantly responding with the statement that we can definitely see the new all-time highs for as long as the structure remains bullish. But the structure, because of the fact that the structure is no longer bullish, we are definitely not going to see the new all-time highs anytime soon, at least before we have a retest of 60,000, 75, 70,000, 50,000, this range, because this is going to be an important range. If you're interested to know why exactly the 50,000 level, $55,000 level is so important, why exactly I believe that there can be a move down to these levels, you can let me know in the chat box. But anyways, one more thing, some people are comparing this move to, something which happened during the last cycle also in May 2021. I don't know how many of you were actually present during that cycle, but in May 2021, Bitcoin crashed massively from 63,000 and went all the way down to 29,000. So people are saying that maybe this time also we are going to have a similar kind of a move in which Bitcoin just crashed, or Ethereum just crashed from 4,700, 4,800, 4,900, and it would go, let's say, all the way down to 2,100, 1,800, and then we will see a new all-time high. So something similar happened during the last cycle also, in which during the month of May 2021, we had this crash, and then Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else, it went on to create a new all-time high. But if you look at that move, it was a massive liquidation event. It was not a move like this. This is a very sustainable move towards downside, which makes it really, really dangerous, which makes me believe that it is actually more like a kind of a move which happens after the formation of an actual all-time high, in comparison to something which you saw happened back in the month of May 2021. So going back to the topic, 98.5K, that is your second short trigger. If you see a move towards upside, that is essentially going to be, another retracement wave towards upside, and that is going to be an opportunity for you to build a short position, because from this point onwards, it's just going to be a series of lower lows and lower highs. And then, if we are lucky enough, then we are going to see a big move towards 108,000 to 112,000. Now, this is going to be an interesting situation. I don't know how exactly Bitcoin would go up to 108,000. It's not exactly impossible. It's not even something which is difficult. But, looking at things from this perspective, it seems a little bit difficult, especially if we start breaking below this level. If we bounce at this level, then it would make sense. But if you see Bitcoin at 108,000 to 112,000, please, 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 I beg you, please do not miss out on that move, because that is going to be once in a lifetime opportunity for you to short. I mean, we missed out on this move. Even for Ethereum also, we were not able to go with the full intended position size. We were only able to build a half position size. But still, with Bitcoin also, you can see that 108.5K to 112,000, that is a massive resistance for Bitcoin. And you can actually, if we get a move towards these resistance levels anytime in the next 1 or 2 months, I mean, if we get this move probably in like 6, 7 months, that is a totally different situation. I don't know what exactly the structure is going to look like if that happens. But if we get to see this move towards 108,000 to 112,000 in the next 1 or 2 months or so, that is going to be, in my opinion, something that I would call once in a lifetime sort of opportunity, for you to actually short the cycle top. I mean, you can say that I actually shorted the cycle top if you get to see a move towards this level, because you can see that this is a massive weekly resistance level. I don't really think that maybe market makers, they would give price another push towards upside just to trap maybe more people, because one thing is for sure, that people are not learning the lesson. Once you get a move towards 108.5K, people are going to be bullish back again. No one really is going to look at the facts. Everyone is just going to scream that bull run is so back, we are so back, and people are not really going to pay attention to the facts. But if we get a move towards 108.5K, 112,000, you know what to do. All you have to do is just start building the short position in this range, 108.5K to $112,000 level. In this range, you have to build your short position, right? So this is the weekly time frame update on the Bitcoin chart. Let's go to the daily time frame chart also, and let's see what exactly is happening on the daily time frame chart. Let me go to the let me go to the daily time frame chart. In fact, let's drop back down to the 4-hour time frame chart. So on the 4-hour time frame chart, you can see that on the 4-hour time frame, the only thing which looks a little bit interesting is the formation of this trend line, right? There is this formation of descending trend line. And by the way, Bitcoin is struggling to break above this resistance level. In case you are wondering that why exactly price is not able to break, or why exactly price is not able to go beyond this level, two things are happening at this moment. The first thing is the presence of this big resistance level starting from 92.5K, ending at 93.5K. This is the big resistance on the 4-hour time frame chart, even on the daily time frame chart also to some extent, but it's much more visible on the 4-hour time frame chart. And for that reason, price is not able to go beyond this level. And I've said this before, that once we have a move towards this, once we have a break above this level, once we have a break above 93.5K, 93.2K, that is when I would be interested in opening a small long position on Bitcoin, setting the TP, let's say at 97.5K, 98.5K, a small long position on Bitcoin. But apart from that, you can see that nothing really has changed. Another interesting thing, an update which I gave yesterday, I mentioned clearly that nothing really has changed on the Bitcoin chart. If you would compare it, if you would take a look at this chart on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that nothing really has changed, because it's simply just the formation of lower lows and lower highs. Look at this. This is your impulsive wave, then this is your corrective wave, and this is another impulsive wave, this is another corrective wave. And if we are very unlucky, then there will be another impulsive wave towards downside. Okay, because this is exactly what happened in the past 24 hours. You can see that this was an impulse. People got excited at this retracement, but then there was a new lower low. People got excited at this impulse. Now there could be a new lower low. Or if we are lucky, I mean, if the bulls are lucky, then there could be a formation of a inverse head and shoulder chart pattern also. I mean, if there is this is your left shoulder, there could be a formation of a right shoulder somewhere around here. There could be a formation, or there is already a formation of head around here. And if price, let's say, gives you a few 4-hour closes here, then gives you a break above this level, because 93.5k remains the key level. If price has to go up to 98.5k, because you see there is a huge gap in between these two levels, a huge gap between 93.5k and 98.5k. So if we wish to see a move towards 98.5k, price first of all needs to cross this level. At least on the 4-hour time frame chart, there has to be a smaller structure shift. On the daily time frame chart, nothing really is going to happen. Forget about that daily time frame chart part. But if we focus on the 4-hour time frame chart, you can see that right now it's just a formation of lower lows and lower highs. All you have to do is, if you are trading on the 4-hour time frame chart, you draw the fib levels from this start of impulse to the end of impulse. You can see that rejections happen around 61.8%. No, every single move towards upside, this is what I was referring to earlier also, every single move towards upside, please pay attention to this statement very carefully, every single move towards upside is going to be the formation of a new lower high and not a new higher high, which will ultimately result in price giving you a new lower low. I would repeat the statement once again, at least on the daily time frame chart. On the 4-hour time frame chart, this has been the case for the past few days. Situation may change a little bit on the 4-hour time frame chart, just like I explained that on the 4-hour time frame chart, maybe this is the start of the formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern. You already have the left shoulder, you already have the head. If this new low is a higher low and not a lower low, because this is what the definition of a head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder chart pattern also is, it is already formed at some higher time frame support. It's satisfying all the conditions of a good inverse head and shoulder chart pattern. For a good inverse head and shoulder chart pattern, you need to have the pattern formed at some high time frame support, which this one is satisfying. But then you can see that why exactly do we call this an inverse head and shoulder? Why exactly it resembles an inverse head and shoulder pattern? The reason is because in price, instead of giving a new lower low, it gives you a new higher low, and then price gives you a break above the neckline. That is when the doors to 98.5k would be opened up, and then you can expect the price to make a move towards upside. But 93.5k, remember this one word, 93.5k remains the key. Otherwise, nothing really is going to change. Market will open. Every time the New York Open happens, you will see another sell-off towards downside. The Nvidia earnings report was able to somehow save the day yesterday, but maybe nothing really is going to change here. You can see that if we do not have, I would repeat that statement once again, which I just mentioned just a few minutes ago. If we continue to see these series of lower highs, because you see this high is lower than the previous high, this high is lower than the previous high. If we continue to see the series of these lower highs, then each one of these lower highs will result in price giving you a new lower low. Okay, so this lower high at this point, this is still a new lower high. Okay, nothing really has changed during the past 48 hours. During the last 24 hours, the update was same, because this is a new lower high. As a result, it will give you a new lower low. Because this is a new lower high, as a result, unfortunately, it may give you a new lower low. And this is the disappointing part also for the bulls, because nothing really is changing. Price is just on the 4-hour time frame chart going to create a new lower low if the situation does not improve in the next few hours. But if the situation improves in the next few hours, then it's going to look something like this, in which you will have a new higher low and not a new lower low. Ideally speaking, you should have a new lower low, but instead of creating a new lower low, what if price just creates a low here, which is the new higher low, and then price gives you a new higher high? Okay, so lower highs, they result in new lower lows, but higher lows, they will result in new higher highs. If this is very confusing for you, if you are listening to all of this for the very first time, then you can just pause the video here, watch this live stream over back again, and then you can just note down all of these things, and it would start making sense to you. But this is the reality that we are looking at right now. Situation is not really looking good right now. You can see that for now, it's just a formation of just new lower lows. And I would say that the only thing which I would say just a small movement of hope for bulls is the formation of a small descending trend lines. But remember that the trend lines, whenever the trend is strong, the trend lines, they don't really matter a lot. Price may just continue to move below this trend line till let's say 75,000, till let's say 80,000, and it may not give you a break towards upside. I mean, if we compare the trend line on the stablecoin dominance chart, price has been moving at this trend line for ages. I mean, it's been quite some time that stablecoin dominance is moving above this trend line. But at least there is a formation of a trend line, at least there is a formation of a trend line. And on the 4-hour time frame chart for stablecoin also, you can see that this is the higher high, this is another higher high, this is another higher high, this is another higher low, this is another higher low, this is another higher low. So you have a series of higher highs and higher lows on the stablecoin dominance chart. You have a series of new lower lows and lower highs on the Bitcoin chart. So situation hasn't really improved during the last few days. And if it continues to be like this, if we continue to have these bearish statements, because one of the members of, in fact, I just posted about this in my Discord channel also, that one of the members of FOMC once again said that it's too risky to do another rate cut in next FOMC because they do not have enough data to make that decision. But who knows, maybe at this the key remains 98, the key remains 93.5k. This has to be, price has to give a 4H close above this level in order for the situation to improve, for the short term. In the long term, the situation isn't really going to improve. Now let's take a look at the chart on the 15 minute, if it's making any sense. But on the 15 minutes, I am looking to open a short position. Let me give you the scenario for the long position also and the short position also. The scenario for the long position yesterday was very simple. Price had to just give a sweep of the previous week's low and then sweep that low also, and then price had to go back above the previous day's low in order for you to open this long position. Now, because we have now in this situation, because we have not swept the previous day low, in fact we are sweeping this previous day's high. You can see that price just went on to sweep this previous day high this morning at 5 a.m. for me. Now if price goes on to sweep this 93,160 level, remember this thing, okay? If price in the next few hours goes on to sweep this 93,160 level and then drops back into this range, drops back this previous day's low, that is going to be a short trigger. That is not going to be a long trigger, which basically means that if price gives you a fake out above 93,160, whatever the previous day's high is, this is the previous day high, and then drops back into this level, which will essentially just be a deviation, we will take a short position, expecting the price to give a new lower low towards downside. But you can see that price just gave you a wick above the previous day's low, was not able to breach this previous day low, and has quickly fell back under this level back again. So let's see what happens. But for now, we do not have a lot of clarity on this. What is considered a sweep? No. It can actually be a close. It can actually be a sweep. When I am using the word sweep here, it is not essentially referring to the wick above the level or the wick above the previous day high or the wick below the previous day low. It is essentially referring to just a move above the high or above the low. In this situation, you can see that this was the previous day's high. Price swept this previous day high. Even if it had closed the candle above, it wouldn't really have mattered. But if price in the next few hours goes on to give, let's say, a close above this level or even just a sweep above this level, if it just continues to stay in this range and then goes back below this level, 92,000, 93,000, whatever the previous day's low is, then that is going to be a short trigger. We will open a short position immediately. We will open a short position immediately, placing a stop loss, whatever the new high is, and then we will target at least the previous day low, or then the formation of a new lower low. But for now, I do not really have any position for now. The only position which I have open is on Ethereum, which is in a significant drawdown, but still that is the only position that we have open. It's not really like dropping a lot. The reason is because, as I mentioned today in the morning update also, because Bitcoin dominance is at resistance, because Bitcoin dominance is dropping. So even if Bitcoin drops a little bit from here, even if Bitcoin just drops a lot from here, alts, they're not really going to get cooked. Alts, they're not really going to take a major hit. Alts, they're not really going to take a big hit. Exactly opposite to what happened yesterday, because in yesterday's update, related to Bitcoin dominance, I clearly mentioned that because Bitcoin dominance is sitting at support, so if Bitcoin drops, alts are going to take a bigger hit. But situation today is opposite. If Bitcoin drops, alts are not really going to take a bigger hit. I mean, they would drop obviously, but they're not really going to drop a lot because Bitcoin dominance is just, going back from resistance. And this is a range that we have been trading for the past 10 days or so. For all those asking that, am I going to take am I going to do DCA into this position? No, I'm not. This position has got no DCA. It's simply just a 1 hour position. I'm not going to add anything into this position. This is a 1 hour position. Simply just going to stick to the risk to reward ratio. Simply going to let it run for some time and, hoping that, Bitcoin just gives us a move towards upside, and this one also just at least gives us a move towards 3400. Eventually it has to, I mean, there can be deeper retracement also, but at least this is what I am expecting right now. Are you still in link spot? Yes, I am still in link spot. I am still in many of these spot positions, at least 8 to 9 spot positions I have still open. 𝗕ce, meme, POL, sushi, orca, link, these are the spot positions I have open. Algo also, and MET also. So these are the spot positions that I have open. We had, after 10th of October crash, we opened, I guess, more than 20-25 spot position. We exited most of those spot positions in profit. I assure you that these spot positions also we will be able to exit in profit. It's just only a matter of time. On lower time frame, looking like dead cat bounces. Yes, you are right. On the lower time frame chart, it's not really looking that good. Govind is asking, do you think there will be deep retracement on weekly support on ETH before heading towards 3400? This is less likely, honestly. Getting a deeper retracement. If ETH has to bounce, then it should be giving a strong bounce here instead of giving any deeper retracement. If the deeper retracements start happening, then that is not really going to be a good sign, and that's when we will try to exit our spot position also. But it depends on, once again, what kind of retracement we have. 3000, 2800, it's a strong level, so I'm not really expecting price to just, break through this level anytime soon, break through this level without giving any significant reaction. I have a massive spot bag in Hype 25K. I'm not sure about Hype. It's been a long time since I looked at Hype, but it's almost always good. No, Hype is good because it's, as long as it's holding above $33, as long as it's holding above this spot, it's good. Nothing really has changed. But yeah, if you would like to DC more into your position, or if you would like to do anything with your position, you can do so at $34 level. This is the next support for Hype. What about the break of this multi-cycle trend line on US? Yeah, that is another very bad thing, which I'm not sure how many of you are aware of. But USDT.D is something which I talked about, I guess, 2-3 weeks ago. USDT.D on the weekly time frame chart already closed a weekly candle above this massive trend line, which is a multi-year trend line, has been in formation the day when this, the day when the FTX crash happened, which was 7th of November 2022. You can see that the weekly, after this weekly close above, just imagine that, we are talking about the weekly time frame chart. We are not talking about the daily time frame. We are not talking about the 4-hour time frame. We are not talking about the 15-minute time frame trend line. We are talking about the weekly time frame chart, which basically means that the trend line breakout, it will happen. It has already happened, and now that it has already happened, it is going to move. It is going to go up a lot. From from this point onwards, it's not really going to settle down immediately. It's not really going to settle down anytime soon, because this is a weekly time frame trend line breakout that we are talking about. LDO position, I also have a spot position open on LDO, guys, by the way. LDO is looking good in comparison to most of the other things. It's sitting at support. You can see that LDO is sitting at support. Surprisingly, in comparison to most of the other things, LDO is sitting at support. Dot is essentially just dead. Polkadot, after that October crash, most of the coins, they were not even able to recover beyond the resistance levels, beyond the levels that they broke through back on 10th of October. You can see that DOT is one of the very few coins that were not able to go past these resistance levels. These levels that were support before 10th of October, that prices went through these levels back on 10th of October, and then price was not able to recover beyond these levels, which was a really disappointing thing. I mean, if you would take a look at the chart for NEAR, if you would take a look at the chart for 𝗠𝗍, if you would take a look at the chart for 𝗥𝗏, if you would take a look at the chart for some other big market cap coins, they were easily able to recover beyond these levels. After the crash ended, they were able to recover past these levels. And even most of these coins are still sitting above these levels. I mean, even if you would compare this with LDO is still sitting at the support. But DOT is one of the very few coins that were not just able to recover beyond this level after the crash, but after, let's say, 1 month after the crash, they are still trading below these levels, which is a really disappointing thing. I'm sure if Powell resigns and a crypto friendly, he is not really going to resign. His term is ending, I guess, in March or May 2026. I'm not sure, but he's definitely not going to resign. Person was inserted, we would get a pump. I mean, that could be that could be one bullish thing, but it's not something which is big enough to pump the markets. Same as 𝗏. Let's take a look at the chart for 𝗏 also. And so, these coins that have not recovered beyond these resistance levels, try to avoid trading these coins. Yeah, 𝗏 also, you can see that, this one is also trading, first of all, it has been trading, below this level. This is the massive resistance level that it broke through back on 10th of October. It lost this level, and then it never recovered past this level. It never went beyond this level. And then there is this another level, another small 4-hour level that it's trading below, and now it's simply just in a free fall. I mean, it's still crazy when you think that most of these coins, they literally went down almost 80 to 90% on the day of that crash. It still is scary when you read about all of these things. Thoughts on grass? Well, thoughts on grass are that you should touch the grass. All of you should touch the grass, and you should stress less about what's happening in the market. Sorry for the silly joke. And by the way, 50 plus people are watching the live stream. Only 37 of you have liked it. What exactly is the issue with the rest 13 of you guys? What exactly is the issue? What is the problem? Why cannot you guys like the live stream? Okay, so grass is trading at resistance. You can see that, although it has made a big pump, but because it's trading at resistance, so you gotta be careful. If you're just buying because of this pump, then you gotta be careful because of the fact that it's trading at this resistance level. If it gives a 4H close above this resistance, flipping it into support, that is when I would be a little bit interested in buying. But overall, I don't really think it could be a good decision because of the fact that it's slowly approaching these fib levels also. It's a big trend towards downside, big downside trend, big bearish trend. It could just be another corrective wave. Something very similar to what happened in this upside move also. You can see that if you draw the fibs, start of impulse, end of impulse, wick into 61, 65%, trapping all of these buyers, and then a huge move downside. Just in a matter of few days, almost an 84% crash. So something very similar I am expecting in the case of grass here also, because it's the formation of lower lows and lower highs. So even if it reclaims, do not take any risk because it's most likely going to give a move like this, small upside move into 61, 68, and then a huge drop towards downside, formation of another new lower low. Any potential meme to recommend? No, I don't really think so. This is about to pay the mentorship. Yeah. Even if regarding grass, even if there is a 4H close, I would not recommend, although it's a strong level, but still the reason why I would not recommend taking the long position, even after the reclaim of this level. First of all, I'm not a big fan of trading the breakouts in the situation like this. Trading breakouts used to be favorable almost a few months ago, almost a few months back during the bull market. But now that the situation has changed dramatically, trading the bullish breakouts is not really going to be a good decision. But the pathetic thing is that even trading the bearish breakouts has been really, really bad during the last few days because of the uncertainty around a lot many of these things. People are still uncertain as to if it's a bull market, if it's a bear market, if it's just the start of the bear market, or if it's just a just a small retracement. But I believe that things would get a lot more easier after a few days. You would have a lot more clarity, and you would be easily able to capitalize on short positions. But because I believe that it's a formation of lower lows and lower highs, for that reason, even if there is a move into 61.8, 65%, it's eventually going to result in price giving you a new lower low. So for that reason, do not um, you know trade this breakout. Is there any coins? And another important thing, if it gives you a move like this, in which if it's 61.8, 65, and then a quick move back below this level, that is an absolute short trigger. Entry, stop loss, and then expect a move downside. That is your short trigger. Something very similar to what happened here also. I watched it, the live stream on my TV, had to get the MacBook to like hee. Thanks for the info. Thanks, Gian. Thank you so much. I hope you have been enjoying the live stream. I hope the audio level is not too low, because every time this live stream gets uploaded, people are always complaining about the audio level. I'm not sure why exactly is that. Is there any coins you recommend to just leave a big bag and forget? No, honestly, no. If you're talking about just buying and forgetting for the next 4 or 5 years, then apart from Bitcoin, Ethereum, I would not really suggest doing so with any of these other coins. And if you want to do that, then probably just do it in parts. I mean, do not buy at just one level, just simply buy in parts. Just imagine that if someone had bought Luna almost 5 years ago, and they would have said that, look, I'm just gonna open my wallet after 5 years. I'm going to buy $100,000 worth of Luna, and then I'm just going to look at this. And Luna at some point in time, not long ago, was the third largest market cap coin. So you can imagine that what would have happened. I watch 90% of live streams, never a problem with audio quality. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I'm taking 80% profit, then rather should a 4H reclaim the resistance? I will leapfrog. Thank you. It is at resistance, although it's a second retest of resistance. So you may just consider taking profits. Definitely take profits off the position, because a resistance is a resistance. Let me tell you guys, let me tell you something, guys. If you take profits at this position and then price goes past this resistance level, you should not really be blaming yourself for anything. You should not really be blaming yourself that you missed out on this move. You made the best possible choice which was available to you in that moment. Trust me with this. Trust me with this. The moment you accept the reality that these markets, they are random, obviously there is some form of pattern in these markets, but these markets, they are random. You cannot precisely predict the top. You cannot precisely short the top. You cannot precisely long the bottom almost always. Because it's realistically not possible for literally anyone. In these free markets, in these big markets, it's not realistically possible for any single major market player. The moment you accept this reality, your life would be a lot more easier. You would stop thinking about these missed opportunities. You would stop thinking about these missed moves and all that. Your life would be a lot more easier. Can you check Internet Computer Protocol? Okay. KSI bought millions of Luna and lost. SEI, ICP, profit is profit. Let's take a look at ICP. At setting at support, the first retest was here, the second retest was here, this is the third retest. I'm telling you, ICP is about to lose this level. ICP is about to lose this level, and then this was the retest of resistance also. So you cannot take a short position. The first retest of resistance has already happened. That opportunity is gone. You cannot take the long at this level. You cannot buy at this level, because the daily time frame retest opportunity is also gone. You can see that this was the first retest of support. Price gave you a nice 28% move, and now the only opportunity left for you is to take a short position once price gives a break below this level. And I'm telling you that the way price is giving the retest at this level on the 4-hour time frame chart, it's definitely about to break below, because you can see that the first retest was big, the second one was smaller one in comparison. This one was the first one, the second one was very small in comparison to the first one, the third one even smaller one in comparison to the second one, the fourth one most likely going to be the smallest one in comparison to all three, which basically makes me think that we're about to lose this level. Okay, let's take a look at the last chart, one last chart. And before I do that, uh, first of all, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, all of you. Make sure to like this live stream. And if you're not following me on Twitter, 𝗟𝘍𝗶𝗵𝘁𝘀, this is my Twitter handle. I regularly post market updates and sometimes calls also on my Twitter account. So make sure that you're following this handle. And plus, do not forget to participate in this giveaway. We are giving away one lifetime premium subscription, which would otherwise cost you $2,000, and one yearly premium subscription, which would otherwise cost you $700 to $800, to every single one, to all of you who would like to participate in this giveaway. We are probably going to choose like 4 to 5 winners for this giveaway, but it's very simple. All you have to do is just go to my Twitter channel, go to my Twitter account, and then click on this pinned tweet and click on this tweet right here, and like this tweet, retweet this tweet, and drop your honest opinion, your honest experience with Foxian, drop your honest experience with me in the comment section, in the replies of this Twitter post. All you have to do is just simply like and retweet this tweet, and then you would automatically become a part of you would automatically get participated in this giveaway. And you have to join the Discord server and register your entry also. The link for the Discord server, obviously, you can find out in the description of this video. It's very simple. You can go to the Foxian's Twitter handle also. Discord's link is going to be there. The Discord link is going to be in the description of this video also. You can take a look at my bio also. The Discord link you can find directly from Foxian's Twitter account as well. So it's a great opportunity. And finally, after becoming a part of this giveaway, you can also go to the website. Remember that 𝗏𝗂𝑐𝗿𝗏.org. This is our website. We have started a Black Friday sale. All of the subscriptions, all of the premium subscriptions, the monthly subscription, the quarterly subscription, the lifetime subscription, the yearly subscriptions are at a 50% discount. This is huge. I'm telling you that even the mentorship also is at a 50% discount. This is huge. We usually have this sale just once every single year. So do not. Oh shoot, Bitcoin is back at 89.6K. I think we are going to see a new lower low. So I was saying that you can actually just buy the subscription, read all of these updates and everything in the in the Discord server also. It's a really great opportunity. It's a really good opportunity. We usually have this sale just once in 1 year, and it's an amazing opportunity for you to be a part of this Discord server. If for some reason you were not able to afford the subscription earlier, then the monthly subscription, you can see that only $30 per month. The quarterly is only $99 per month, which would otherwise cost you $180 with the normal amount. And then the same is the case with the yearly subscription, only $396. Lifetime subscription is at only $1189. And then we have the mentorship discount also going on just at the 50% price. When will you announce the giveaway winners? I guess we will be announcing the giveaway winners in like 4 or 5 days, but we are going to have this giveaway every single week for the next 1 month. So in the next 1 month, in next 4 weeks, we are going to have this giveaway every single week. So make sure that you're participating in this giveaway. I already have given you all the updates related to the market. You already know exactly what to do. So let me just analyze one last chart, and then we will end this live stream. SEI. It's been a long time since I looked at this chart, but yeah, this is a very critical, level that price is sitting at. Not looking very good, because price almost is about to break below this level. But once we break below, you can see price going back down to fill this wick also. But right now you can see that we are sitting at the very edge of this higher time frame support. Once price starts breaking below, it could easily go back down to 0.0885. and it may easily go back down almost 50-60%. I suppose it's going to be almost, yeah, 44% move downside. It can easily give you a 44% move downside, because the next support is going to be at least in this level, at least 20 to 30% down. If you are long on this, please be very careful, because it has almost already broken below this level. So the reclaim has not happened. It has already almost lost this level, already has almost broken below this level. You can see that the big bounce, this was the first big bounce, the second one, the smaller one, the third one, and finally it's just breaking below this level. So be careful with this. Oh wow, every single week for the next month. Goodness. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Do you recommend subscription to both mentorship and premium separately? Ravi is asking. Ravi, the mentorship program is a lifetime program. There is no subscription to mentorship. Everything you can access in the mentorship program for lifetime: the resources, the audiobooks, the live lectures, the weekly recordings, all the resources, the books, etc. Everything, one-on-one lectures, one-on-one schedule calls, and everything you can access just in one price, which I believe is going to be $600. The mentorship program is already at 40 to 50% discount. All of these things you can access for lifetime for absolutely free. Uh, Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Make sure to just follow all the rules to become a part of this giveaway, to participate in this giveaway. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Make sure to like the live stream. Thank you so much. Take care and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.